Hi guys, welcome back. It's Zach from Lux Lucis again, and today we're going to bring you the Alcatel One Touch Idol X. Now, on paper, this phone just seems too good to be true. It has really high specifications and all for a very affordable price. Now, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, it will be along the lines as, is there any setbacks? Why would you pay twice as much for a phone with similar specs? Is it just branding? Well, let's find out. Depending on what you look for in the hardware, you will either love it or hate it. Now, first off, it doesn't give out that expensive, luxurious feel. It does cost half the price of the best smartphones in the world after all, so this is a no-brainer. The material feels quite flimsy, hence the thought of dropping the phone is honestly just plain scary. On the flip side though, it makes the phone extremely light, which is very convenient. Another highly convenient aspect of the phone is its thickness, or should I say, thinness. Now personally, we find that the thinness and the weight of the Alcatel Idol X makes up for its cheap feel. The design is also another thing that is commendable about the Idol X. The flat skirting on the sides and surface gives it a very clean and solid look. Well, at least it looks solid. The camera and button placement are pretty normal. A thing worth noting about the buttons is that they do feel flimsy and cheap. Sadly, well, it's not just the body. Another thing that we didn't really like about the hardware is the SIM card slot cover. Not only does it look and feel awkward, but it also functions pretty awkwardly. Taking the lid off can be annoying, and if you don't know what you're doing, well, you're gonna mess things up. Not really the worst thing about the phone, but it is these little things that they should put a little bit more effort in. Overall, the hardware feels just like we expected. Like it is on a budget. What we really liked about the hardware is how slim, light, and sexy it looks. And oh, it comes in different colors as well. The phone's display is the game changer here. The 5-inch screen with its 441 ppi makes the phone look like it costs as much as the latest iPhone. But it doesn't. It's just half the price. And yet, Alcatel has managed to make the display to be on par with the best smartphones in the world, including the iPhone 5S. The downside of the impressive screen, however, is the protection. The screen is only made out of a scratch-resistant glass, which does not only lack the security, but also lacks the smoothness when touched. Now, the touchscreen does not feel so fluent, and is quite obvious during gaming. This, however, doesn't impact the typing at all. In fact, typing messages on this screen is an amazing experience. The color offered by the screen is really balanced. So it is not exactly impressive, but nonetheless, because of the high PPI and sharp display, the screen looks absolutely amazing. Now overall, the 1080x920 display is definitely among the best in the world, but the glass in screen is a bit disappointing. They could have at least used the Gorilla Glass, but I guess this is the trade-off for being available at such an affordable price. On paper, the processor and memory look really impressive. Well, again, this is just on paper. Sadly, after trying it out, the 1.5 quad-core processor combined with its 2GB RAM is actually quite disappointing. The phone runs heavy apps well, but not multiple apps at once. Well, just to put it simply, it is bad at multitasking, which could prove to be really annoying for heavy users. There is no problem whatsoever with playing high graphic games, nor when browsing. Taking pictures or watching movies is absolutely fine as well. Everything runs alright until you start multitasking. Even when you don't do multitasking, things won't run as smoothly as you'd expect it to. There is no noticeable or impressive smoothness in the fluency of running apps. There is a little delay, slight lags, and sometimes crashes. Our tests had also encountered a few bugs. One of the most often ones is when the phone keeps saying that it has no running apps, even when there obviously are. This makes it really annoying when you want to kill running apps quickly. As an overall, the processor is just not as good as it claims to be. I mean sure, quad-core is really impressive, but that alone is not enough to give you the smoothest and the best experience in utilizing a smartphone. The smoothness isn't absolute or consistent. If the impressive screen is the game changer, the camera is the clincher. Unlike the processor, the 13.1 megapixel camera doesn't just sound impressive, it is impressive. Now that and the 2.1 megapixel HD front camera. The camera supports the usual settings with no noticeable extra functions. The only function worth noting is its panorama availability. The camera takes 1080p HD videos, which makes the rear camera, and possibly the front, one of the best available on today's smartphones. Okay, this is footage from the Alcatel One Touch Idol X. Personally, we feel that it's still not as impressive as the S4 or the iPhone 5s, but regardless, with the price you're paying for, the camera is as good as it gets. The picture quality is top-notch, and paired with the excellent focusing quality of the camera, the result is even more brilliant. We thought the rear camera was impressive, and later we were pleasantly surprised with the front camera as well. We dare say at the moment, the front camera would very well be one of the best, and if not, the best front camera on any smartphones at the moment. So if you're into video calling or taking selfies, which we know you do, then you are going to love the cameras on this phone. Overall, it is without a doubt that the camera is the phone's strongest point, and we feel that Alcatel has done a really good job for this part on the phone. Just like the hardware, the audio on this phone is just mediocre at best. Unlike the HTC One, you can't hold this phone up and pretend it's a boombox. The audio is only loud enough, and it lacks that exquisite clarity. Even using nice earphones doesn't make the audio sound tremendously nicer. Well, of course it does sound a little clearer when you use your earphones, but it still lacks that clarity and sharpness. Because of the audio, watching movies and videos on this phone is also a mediocre experience. The display is almost perfect, but the audio just lacks that loudness to project the audio to multiple people. Overall, the sound and video experience of the phone isn't something to brag about, but it isn't something that doesn't function either. Well, you can listen to music, you can watch movies, well, that's no problem at all. It just lacks that luxurious quality feel. This part of the phone, we believe, is the ultimate trade-off for the cheap price you pay. And we also believe that a lot of users will be concerned about this aspect. The battery is a disappointment. Even with only the normal amount of usage on a daily basis, like making calls, texting, checking emails, the phone still barely manages to make it through one day alive. If you're into gaming and listening to music, then the battery will most likely not last you throughout the day. Using the GPS slaughters the battery, and before you know it, you'll be foraging for your power bank while the GPS keeps repeating, recalculating. Well, you know how that feels. Overall, if you're pretty much used to this power bank and charging your phone thing in the car, then this will probably not bother you much. But if you're always on the go and not used to charging your phone through unorthodox ways, then this will honestly let you down. Moreover, the battery is not removable. Hence, getting an extra battery is out of the question. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and it's time for the verdict once again. So what is the final outcome? We find that this phone is slightly disappointing. Just slightly, but it is not entirely fair to judge a phone based on just the specs that you see on a piece of paper. We've tested it and we found that there is no major setbacks on the phone. The camera, front and back, they work perfectly fine. They're great, actually. The display is absolutely awesome and stunning, mesmerizing even. The hardware, well, it is really sexy as you've seen, and light, all the while being sturdy enough for day-to-day usage. So why did we choose this phone? Why do we feel that it's really good? It is half the price of the best smartphones in the market. It is something that we would like to label as the best value for money phone. Of course, it is not an entire overall complete experience similar to an iPhone or the Samsung Galaxy S4 or maybe the HTC One. But as we mentioned, if you are in a budget and you want to pay half the price for something that's really close to that, then this is the phone for you. So thank you very much guys for watching. Feel free to leave comments, don't forget to subscribe, ask us questions, and we'll keep you posted with more videos and more updates to come. This is Zach from Luxlucis. We hope you've enjoyed this review. See you soon.